Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, last known classic. This episode number 2463 and double number 2357. I got two trades here featuring characters that were created by Stan Lee. First up is She-Hulk by Rowell, Volume 3. She Can't Help It. Yep, this collects issues 11 to 15 of She-Hulk Volume 4. I think when a lot of people saw issue 15 was going to be the last, like, oh crap, are they going to cancel She-Hulk Tale? No, because they're restarting the title as Sensational She-Hulk. And there's a Volume 4 coming. I did see that. There is a Volume 4 coming, so don't worry about that. So, this is the end of Volume 4 for the title. Which is also the third straight. This is actually the... I think this is the second straight volume of third. I reviewed the first She-Hulk book by Dan Slott. I reviewed the Charles Shaw run, Margaret McConaughey, and now this book. Mostly put in the cases where we have sort of the debut of Punch Club. Basically, it's a version of Fight Club. Yeah, Rambo Raw, basically, that was a good idea. Well, the members are She-Hulk, Titania, The Thing, Volcana, Jacob, yeah, and of course they fight each other. And of course Luke Cage is basically the former heroes from Higher here as well. And Luke Cage is the mayor. So tag, no tag, and of course they fight. And of course Volcania. Based on how she's drawn here, it's almost like Volcania. It's like is she chunky? No, I think she's like just very overly muscular. That's kind of like draw. Of course they have it where she's home with Jack of Hearts, where they're in a relationship. It's like she's about to have food. Apparently, all he can have is garlic bread. I'm like, seriously? I agree with She-Hulk. Why the heck can he just eat garlic? Why can't he eat regular food? Because he spends a lot of time in summer radiation. So they need to go visit her best friend, Susan Richards. I'm not sure I've heard her maiden name, so. Yep, so then we have the Scoundrel. Yeah, who the heck this guy really is. His real name was Nicholas something. He's got like a very handsome face. Now you would think basically this would be a guy who She-Hulk passed. No, not really. He is completely made up for this book. I actually think this is Volume 4, actually, not Volume 5. Yeah, the thing with Scoundrel is he's just the original character. His real name was Nicholas. Nicholas. It's like he's Italian or whatever. And he only appears in this one story arc. I'm like, seriously, Rimmerall? Okay, Fight Club was not really the first issue. First appearance issue 4. So they have Volcania and The Thing join Fight Club. Volcania herself. Well, here's the thing about her. She is a character from Secret Wars. Yes, the original one. Yeah, and after appearing in Secret Wars 1 and 2, and appearing very sporadically. And then finally pop up again in the previous one for She-Hulk by Charles Shaw for a few issues. And then she appears in this book for the opening 2 issues and the last issue of this book. Yeah. So like after dealing with Scoundrel, and then of course you have Jennifer in her non-She-Hulk form, her human form. She's still a beauty, even if she's in that form, of course, to Jack of Hearts. And then we have a bunch of clients. Well, I see in this office, we see 8-Ball, Rhino, Vulture, Speed Demon, Alpha. Yes, Alpha's here. Puck, Spider-Woman, Rage. Yes, Alpha. Remember that guy? Yeah, it's weird that he's here. Yeah, it's like, okay, let's bring an Alpha in for like a cameo. No, seriously. And by the way, I think this may have been his first appearance since his own solo book. Well, actually, no, he did appear in Young Avengers number 12, but he makes this quick guest star appearance. Yeah. Did you know this guy actually had a limited series? No, seriously, he did. It was a series that lasted for a total of 5 issues plus a .1. Yep, and after that book wrapped up, he later popped up in Young Avengers. And pops up here for a quick cameo, and that's been it for him. Yeah, by the way, this is like he last appeared back in 2013. So at the time when this comic came out, I think it was just this year, I think it was. This was the first time in 10 years he actually had shown up in a comic book. Yes. So, yeah, he just here, of course, Reed is going back and forth, and of course there was Scoundrel. Then you have Patsy Walker appear in the book again. Like, yeah, we're getting basically reminiscing about the previous volume for the Shaw Show run. Yeah, Patsy's here. Hooray! Yep. I think it's great that she appears here because she's another character aside from Susan Richards she's very close with over the years. Oh, yeah, definitely. And she appears in this issue and the following issue, while also appearing in her own solo book. Yep. She actually had a solo book. That'll be something to talk about in the future. Yes, definitely. Yep, quick guest appearance by her. It's probably here just because... My guess is Rainbow probably threw in here because, well... We're like, and then we have more clients. Spider-Woman's still here along with Vulture 8 Ball. Apparently now we've had the Rocket Racer and the White Rabbit show up here. Rabbits get changed to anyone in but the Rocket Racer. Yes, all because he's whistling. No, seriously. It is so hilarious. Now apparently Wong is here too. Yes. It is something. The fact that Wong is here. I mean, look at this lineup here on this couch to see Jennifer. I mean, Spider makes sense, but 8-Ball, Vulture, White Rabbit, and of course, get 5 minutes containing Mallory just happened to be in the office while She-Hulk was getting changed. And then, of course, basically sees the clients. Jug of Hearts shows up, and apparently she's also got this little beeper on her, still all the radiation. And, well, apparently he went to, like, the Marshall Islands, but he also basically goes any place where there's any radiation. The Fantastic Four, the club most luckily joined. Unfortunately, membership is limited. Well, she has been a member of the team before. Back in the 80s. Did Rowell forget the fact she was a member of the team? She replaced the Thing. Yep, so Johnny's here to be a jerk, as usual. And then, of course, basically, Jack of Hearts calls because he's over in the Marshall Islands. Then Scoundrel shows up. Now, we don't know who the heck this guy is, and apparently he wants a Blood Manhattan, so She-Hulk beats the crap out of him for it. Yep, and then, of course, basically, she makes out with Jack of Hearts, the silhouette of the relationship. Then we have sort of this backup feature from issue 175, which was issue 12 of the book. Yes, they put this backup feature at the end of the book. Don't know why. It's like the First World Book Club, and the book club is comprised of Janet Von Dyne, okay, Patsy Walker, the Invisible Woman who's here with her kids, Franklin and Valerie, And then we have the Darza Dragon. There's a joke about her katana, which I thought was so funny. Because I was with the katana. And then Volcano shows up. And of course, the chat basically just, oh, no, she's fine. She's perfectly fine. She's a friend. And of course, I got books and spoilers. Anyway, finish the book. Yeah, it's all about book club, really fun. And everything fun. And then we have Capture. And apparently he read the book too, which is called The Prince, the Crown, the Blood, and the Sword. I love the book. That ending. Wait, have you read the ending? I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, that was actually quite fun. This book is a lot of fun. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Final thoughts on this run for She-Hulk. Well, this volume anyways. Really good. Not a bad issue this whole run. Excuse me. But good news is, not the end of She-Hulk by Rowell. Nope. Because it was relaunched as Sensational She-Hulk with the first issue came out just this past week. Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what was the reason why they had to end the book 4, but they did. It was kind of strange. I just don't really get why they decided to do this for, but at least they brought back a title, which of course fans are familiar with, and a book that was successful by Marvel, unlike Vengeance Moon Knight, which wasn't. That lasted for 10 issues. The first time Sensational She-Hulk lasted for 60 issues. Vengeance was 10. Probably gonna last longer. Yeah, and if you're really curious, 12 was 175. So by the end of this run, it was already at 178. So we are exactly 22 issues away from issue number. Well, with this one, we have 22 issues away from issue 200 for She-Hulk. Which here's a question though: which female character reached 200 first? She-Hulk or Captain Marvel? Probably Captain Marvel. I have tweeted this along about the fact that with issue 1 coming out really soon of the relaunched book, that it'd be like that. But great book. Next up we have is Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos. Volume 1, The Howling Commandos. Collecting the first 19 issues of this series. If you're curious, how long was this book? Almost 200 issues, and a lot of it was reprints. The last new story was in issue 120. I'm not kidding about that. Yeah, it is something though. This managed to last for a whopping total of 100. Well, it managed to last for 167 issues. But here's the thing. By 121, with 121, that was the first of the reprint era for the book. Because 120 was the last issue that published new stories. Because right after 120, the book became a reprint. Yep. And in the very first issue, we see a debut of, well, the Howling Commandos themselves, which is comprised of Nick Fury, Dum Dum Dugan, Gabriel Jones, Pinky Parrington, Junior Jupiter, Sam Sawyer. Yeah, all make their debut here. There's also Rebel Ranson, Dino Menteli, and as of currently, all these guys are dead currently in the comics, except for Nick Fury and Dum Dugan. Rebel Rebson, he died in this year's Secret Avengers. Izzy Cohen is actually still alive. Yeah. Despite appearing frequently in this book alone, if you're really curious, what was his last appearance to date? was actually in the Fury one-shot that came out just this year by Al Ewing. Yep. Well, if you think what was his actual last appearance? Was it Giant Size X-Men Phantom X? Yes, it was. Oh yeah, it was. Now, as for Dino died in Secret Warriors number 17. Junior Jupiter, he died very early on in the run. He died after only a few issues. Sam Sawyer, I believe he's dead too. He died in an issue of Captain America. Yep. This is also the first appearance of the Gestapo in the Marvel Comics, the Waffen Pirates, General von Richthofen. Yeah, he's a minor character, but there's also the French Underground, Perry LeBeau, Mary LeBrov, Perry LeBrov, he only appeared one appearance. Mary LeBrov was also a one-shot character. Paris. Yeah, basically all one-shot characters. Yeah, and mostly put the sixth place like during World War II. To my knowledge, this was the first and only known World War II comic published by Marvel Comics. Well, that featured World War II era characters. Here was the strange thing, though, about this book. Did you know Marvel was publishing at the same time, publishing when Nick Fury's Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. at the same time? Yep. So, now in the case of some characters here, they also had Sam Sawyer briefly lead the group briefly. Sorry about that. We also had Nick Fury's first girlfriend in the book, Pamela Howling, who sadly died after being in the book for about a year. Yeah, she got killed in a raid. Yep, a raid. Yep. And here was the thing. He found out about this. That was going to say mission. So he was actually proposing to her, so he went to go visit her father to ask his blessing to marry her. And then he tells him, like, what's wrong, man? What's wrong? Pam's dead. What? And then he drops the ring. And the ring is never mentioned again. Yeah, I do appreciate the character. Yeah, absolute really good character. I love this character. The character appeared in flashbacks. Like, her first flashback was actually in, and apparently she at one point met Doctor Strange. Yes, seriously. And her appearance basically took place before her death. Yeah, I think it was a time travel story in the pages of Doctor Strange, but yep. There's also Percival Harley, who is Pam's brother. Yeah, basically he was on a mission to rescue him, but he failed. But here's the thing: his sister didn't hate him for it because she understood, because she was an officer. She was a nurse. She understood it. And the issue 5 is a debut of Baron Wolfgang von Strucker. And you would think, oh, debut in issue 1. Nope. Issue 5. Let me show you the guy's debut appearance. There he is. Baron Wolfgang von Strucker. One of the most reoccurring Nazis in Marvel Comics. A character who's still around. Yep. Despite the fact Nick Fury has killed this guy frickin' twice. Heck, Nick Fury is like shot him in the head many times, like he shoots him. And then we have issue 6 of George Stonewall. He's only here for one issue, and then he gets written off. He basically just leaves. Then we have General Rommel appear in this book. Yeah, he didn't appear in the book very much. When he appeared in this book, this actually his first appearance is Combat Kelly 37. Well, here's the thing about Combat Kelly. Well, unlike, let's say, in the case of Sergeant Rock, per se, over DC, where he's a well-known character, Combat Kelly, people have no, like, unless you're a hardcore fan, you have no idea who the heck this guy is. The issue 7 has apparently a court-martial by Nick Fury when a officer tries to attack a particular installation. Nick Fury tells him, no, that's not going to attack that one. So he punches him, and then it's revealed, thanks to a captured Nazi spy, that Nick Fury had basically gotten to spill the beans about this place. And, well, turns out that he had ever had to strike him. Because either that or having all his men get killed. So charges were dropped, and court-martial. There was no more court-martial afterwards. We also have first appearance of Lieutenant Parker. He's only here for one issue and he's gone, but there is actually a replacement. There's actually also Percival Pinkerton. Yeah, he's currently dead too. He, of course, would join issue and would be here for the long haul. He'll be here up until like the last regular issue of the book, 120. Yep. We also have a Dr. Zemo, who turned out to be Heinrich Zemo. Yes. The classic Marvel villain. We also have, let's see if I can find it. There's also another one here named Captain Flint. He briefly joins. Then for like one issue is also a guy called the Skipper. Yeah, he basically was a recurring character in this book very briefly. And then he got his own spin-off book. Yep, Captain Savage and his Leather Rednecks. Leather Riders, excuse me. Yeah, it's weird that we have a character makes debut in this book and gets his own spin-off. Yeah, seriously, he does. I mean, he's by far the only character I can think of who made his debut in this book and then got his own book right afterwards. And of course, they have a character named Bill Parker appears in this issue and the following issue, and he's gone. Yeah, a lot of really fun stuff here. But I remember there was one issue in here where Sawyer has, and of course we have a guest appearance in issue 13 by Captain America. And his previous appearance actually was in Invaders chronologically. And chronologically, his next appearance after this book will be in Domination Factor Avengers 2.4. Yep. Yeah, and, well, they also have a guy named Bull Grover. He first appeared in issue 7. He appeared sporadically in this book. Then we have basically the Blitzkrieg Squad, which, yeah. They appear for a small handful of appearances. The last appearance was in Invaders 30. '15's first appearance of Hans Rutten. He was not around very long in the book. Nope, he left by issue 60. Actually, after just a couple years. Yeah. What happened to Pam's father, I might ask? Well, he disappeared from the comic. Yeah, issue 18 was his last appearance. Mm-hmm. It was at one point where basically Fury was challenged by Baron Strucker to basically a duel, which he lost. And apparently the paper, so he stripped his rank, and then apparently got it back by stealing the stripes from another guy. So he was reinstated as sergeant, and he was made that for the whole series. If you're curious, when was he promoted to lieutenant? That was his next rank. I think it was in a Sergeant Fury annual. Because remember there was, I think they mentioned by Korea he got promoted to lieutenant. Look and see when that was. Wasn't this one? Maybe it was. I think it may have been later on the series when he was promoted lieutenant. Because he spent a lot of the time in this book basically fighting the war. You're thinking, okay, when did they stop doing the World War II stuff? Oh, I'm trying to find out exactly when the heck that was. Yeah, I'm trying to find out exactly when that was because they had it where 100 is kind of like in the 70s. Well, I'm not really sure exactly when, but at one point he was promoted. But when they do the Korea Wars, that's when they finally do it. This book is fantastic. Give this book a 10 out of 10. Okay, so that's the particular review. Next up, one more comic corner. Now call it a night. Okay, next view. Bye.